Welcome everybody to this next edition of This Just In. I'm very excited to welcome our guest today. This is Spencer Blua from Biocide Systems. Spencer?
Hello, hello.
How you doing over there? You doing good in California?
Yeah, we're doing good. Glad to be here.
Good. Now, tell me a little bit about, first of all, what's going on in your personal life? How are you handling this whole pandemic? How is it affecting you personally and the business? And talk to me a little bit about what's going on.
Well, we're staying at home the way we're supposed to. We're trying to mitigate any kind of contact out. We're limiting our contact with the outside world. We have our staff split and most of them resting, but the ones that are there are split in shifts so that they're not together. We're trying to keep a safe environment to keep helping people with our product to get rid of their odors and issues at home and in their cars and so forth. But we've been very fortunate here, at least at Biocide Systems, that our family and our employees, everybody's safe, everybody's keeping healthy, and we haven't had any incidents hit us, and we hope to keep it that way.
Good. Yeah, we spoke a little bit to JC earlier in the week, and we kind of touched on the fact that now more than ever, people are inside their homes. They're all together, and it's creating all sorts of smells, and you might need a liquid shocker, a room shocker, or maybe not an auto shocker right now, but in the future. So, it's still prevalent, despite what's going on. And here's my question to you. How did you get into this? Did you walk into a room one day and say, you know what, I don't like the smell. I gotta come up with something. How did you get into Biocide Systems?
Oh, we kind of got introduced to it through a third party. We were doing a lot of business in Mexico at the time with some other venture that we were on, and we met someone. Actually, JC met someone at a party that was interested in us helping him for water purification and so forth, and so we started looking into chlorine dioxide, and we started seeing all its properties and all the good things it does. And so we decided basically that we were going to try and get into that area and make it something that's available to everybody. So, working hard, making a good product that there really wasn't anything out there, because like I said, this was a water purification kind of thing. We came up with the very first patented chlorine dioxide delivery system for personal and commercial use. Before, it was only industrial, and something that was affordable, that people could use in their homes safely, effectively, and from there, it just kind of grew on a shoestring budget. We kind of put a website up and to test it out, and people were loving it, and it was more word of mouth than anything else, that we just started growing exponentially on our sales and people just talking about it. And it took a while because nobody knew what chlorine dioxide was back then. And, a lot of trade shows, a lot of social media advertising, trying to inform and educate the public on what chlorine dioxide is and what it does. And, the rest is, as they say, is history. We've just gotten to the point where we are the most recognizable chlorine dioxide brand on the market amongst retail consumers and professional use. There's a lot of people out there trying to do stuff at home and stuff, and it's a matter of doing things right. You cannot just piggyback and use something that was meant for water purification for something else. We actually have a product that is designed specifically for odor elimination using the gas. So, and the rest is, like I said, is history, man. It's just been a crazy ride.
For me, it's the ultimate product, because when I go into these investment houses and they smell like they do, with pet odors, with the smell of urine, with garbage. I went into a house recently where I had to remove everything, and the smell just would not go away until I put room shocker in there. And eventually the smell was gone. It didn't come back. So for me, it's almost a revolutionary type of product. And then when I look at the auto shocker, when you take someone who smokes in their car for 5 years and you're able to put a product like this that fits in your hand and it just gets rid of the smell in 24 hours, it's just the science behind it and the ability for it to penetrate and actually not mask the smell, but just to get rid of it is really just amazing. It's such an effective product for me. And I'm curious to know what your stinkiest story is. If you have, maybe not on a personal level, but maybe dealing with clients or customers? What's your stinkiest story that you've heard?
Well, it's a little bit of a gross story. Basically, this one customer had bought a 7 Series BMW at auction with only 4,000 miles on it, and he bought it for $3,000. So obviously, something had to be wrong with it because it was
Right.
pretty much brand new, and for $3,000, it only, I think, it had less than 10,000 miles. What happened is that the original owner of the car, shortly after buying it, drove up into the woods, and he took his own life, unfortunately.
Wow.
And he sat there for a week before they found him. So that car was a horrible, horrible mess that nobody wanted. And this guy, he's a professional detailer, so he figured, I can throw 10 grand at this and make some money because it's a $100,000 car.
Right.
So after weeks of working on that car, you looked at it and it was showroom new. But as soon as you opened that door, forget it. You just wanted to just vomit right there. You couldn't even.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was horrible. And so the guy tried everything under the stars. He was getting ready to junk the car because he couldn't get rid of the odor. And a friend of his had used our product to get rid of his cigar smell in his car because he's a cigar smoker. So the guy figured, what's $50? He bought 2 of them, threw it in the car. He made about $60,000 profit.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the more extreme ones out there.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. He legitimately flipped the car is what he did.
Yep.
And he did it putting a lot less money than he ever thought he would have to.
Yep. Well, I mean, he spent 10 grand redoing everything, reconditioning,
right.
But still, like I said, it's a $100,000 car he got for $3,000.
Wow.
So he had a huge margin to make once he had the product, the car in tip shape. The problem was the smell, and we were the solution for that for him.
So who are some of the companies that you guys are working with now on more of a business to business type of level?
Well, one of our biggest clients are Hertz Rent-A-Car and Enterprise. And those are probably a couple of the largest ones we have. We have Keystone Automotive, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, distributor of automotive parts nationwide. Summit Racing is another one. Those are among the biggest ones that we have. And then foreign sales are, so we export to Australia, South Africa,
Wow.
South America, and Chile and Peru, Europe and the Netherlands, and Canada, of course. We kind of don't consider them international, but they're we're exporting everywhere.
Right.
And we're getting more. Oh, and we just sent out a big shipment to the Middle East, to Kuwait, as well. So yeah, internationally we're growing. Our message is getting out there, and people are seeing it. And yeah, so we're going to start shipping to, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, to Dominican Republic and Mexico as well. So it's
awesome.
growing. We're keeping busy, fortunately.
Keeping busy, an international company. And then if you're a consumer, you can find it online, right on Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, all these types of websites. They're all over the place if you're looking for it. If you want to get rid of that nasty smell, whether it's room shocker, auto shocker, liquid shocker. Now, in particular, we know auto shockers for the car, room shockers for the interior of the house. Liquid shocker, explain to me a little bit more about liquid shocker.
So the liquid shocker is a hard surface deodorizer. So the difference between those products is the liquid shocker is an actual liquid, which can be used to, you can fog it to clean the air, clean surfaces, but it doesn't penetrate. The gas on the other side actually penetrates into the pores of the drywall, hardwood floors, furniture. It goes into everything. But sometimes for like restaurants and kitchen counters, bar counters, grease traps, different things like that. Exteriors, like people would have dog runs with a lot of dogs and pets or things like that. They use it. They spray it on the walls and the ground. Janitorial companies use it in like public restrooms. They spray them down after they're done cleaning to keep the odors down, and it works great for that. That's basically the biggest difference. You use it like in a car, or you wouldn't use it in a car, but in a truck you could maybe. You have a pickup truck and you went hunting and you got, a couple of deer sitting in the back, and you take it out, you have a big mess to clean. The liquid shocker gets rid of the odors that can stay in any cracks where,
Gotcha.
anything could have filtered in. And so that's pretty much the basic difference. One's water, one's gas.
Awesome. Now shifting gears a little bit toward now the racing side of things.
Uh-huh.
We're fortunate enough to be marketing partners, and you're part of our team, and we've enjoyed, this part of it, having you guys out to the racetrack. Tell me a little bit about, first of all, do you have any personal background in either any automotive sports or any sports in general? And just what's your take on NHRA drag racing?
Well, drag racing, I was familiar like most people when you see it sometimes on TV.
Right.
I was more, I grew up in Argentina, and they're a big Formula One fans down there. So I grew up with the whole Formula One thing, and I still follow it closely. With drag racing, I was really surprised, when we first met and we visited you guys, and, all the science and the technology that's involved in it. You just don't see it. You see it in Formula One, but you don't see it in other places. And I was really fascinated by that, because that's one of the things that I like about other racings is that, there's a lot of technology involved, but drag racing is just as technological as any of the others, and a lot of fun. I had never been to a drag race before, so I was looking forward to that, and I enjoy those greatly. It's a great experience. I brought my family down, I brought some friends down, and everybody was just really thrilled with the whole thing. It's just one of those things that you have to experience it. It's great to watch it on TV, but it's a different story when you're there at the race and you experience the car, the power, the vibration. It's like with most sports. I guess they're fun to watch, but when you play them yourself, then it's a different story.
Right, exactly. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's once you're there, you can experience it on TV, which is awesome, but once you're there, it's a totally different, surreal type of experience to be surrounded by that kind of power, and to really be involved in all the stuff, like you said, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, all the science and technology behind it to kind of make these cars go.
And to tell you the truth, one of the things that impressed me the most, which is what you don't see on TV, is your crew and how efficient they are at taking apart that engine, that massive engine, in like minutes. They just have it all broken down, and you guys replace the entire engine in like within a couple of hours. You got a brand new car practically going. That's pretty amazing. It's always fun to see when you pull it back into the pit and these guys start working on that. That's just like, it's just mind blowing to see how fast and how efficient, they tune that thing like that in a split second. It's great.
You're right. It is. It's amazing. For me, it's so easy. I just get in the car and drive. I have other responsibilities, but these guys, the work that they do behind the scenes, it's unbelievable. They do an incredible job, as you mentioned, just taking the whole car apart between rounds, putting it back together. I think that we all need to do a better job of kind of showing that side of the racing, because just like business, it's a team, and it's about creating the right team and getting the right people. And fortunately for us, we feel like we've done a really good job of that. And hopefully, well, we know this too shall pass just over the course of time, and hopefully we'll be back out at the track soon. But I want to ask you, for anyone who wants to learn more about, your shocker products, for anyone who wants to learn more about Biocide Systems, you guys have social media pages, right?
Yeah, you just search for Auto Shocker or Room Shocker or Biocide Systems. Any of those you can search, and you'll come up with our page on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And then of course our website, biocidesystems.com. You can find, we have a lot of information there, a lot of articles and how-tos on how to conquer different odors. Like, different smells sometimes require different things. Like pet urine has a specific protocol for getting rid of the odor of the pet urine that sometimes is almost impossible to get rid of. Right. There's just a lot of information on how to use it in your car, how to use it in your home, how to use it in your RV. All the information is there. And then of course, if you have any questions before buying, our 800 numbers on the website, just give us a call. Our people, they're all answering phones or working from home. So, we're there to help out as best we can.
Yeah, but I'm telling you guys out there, it is unbelievable. Hold it. You literally hold it in your hand. It totally gets rid of the smell, and it just doesn't come back. And I want to tell everyone out there listening that health and safety first and foremost. Listen to those CDC guidelines. We'll get back on track. We're America. We're resilient. We'll get there as a country and as a world. And thank you all for tuning in Spencer, thank you so much for being our guest today. Is there anything you want to say, anything you want to touch on before we close?
No, just we're just really excited and happy with our relationship with Justin Ashley Racing. You guys are a great team. We're really fortunate to have partnered with you guys, and we look forward to getting back to racing with you guys soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We feel the same way. The feeling is mutual. And stay safe out there in California.
All right, you too.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care of your family.
Bye-bye.
Bye.